Okay, I'm back again. Hopefully, my newly cleaned computer will keep the audio issues from happening again. I also noticed that the video was starting to herky jerk quite a bit. So I'm going to film a little video and test it out right now. I dyed that fabric and I got two different dye baths here. This is the first one I did, and I don't know how accurate this is going to be, but it's kind of a deeper color. And then I have this one, which was the same dye bath, but I don't know if you can see this on camera. Let me see if this camera helps a little bit. So this is the, oops. So this is the first one. This is the first one here, which I like. It's actually pretty close to what is on Mayberry. And then this is the same dye bath. I just basically decided, I was worried this wasn't enough and I thought it was too dark. So I just added more water into it and then did a second dye bath. And this is the second one, which I think I'm going to use this one for Ben Franklin because it's a little pinker, a little bit lighter. And I think, let me see what it looks like with a wig. Which, this wig's starting to look like Doc Brown here. I gotta comb it out. I think I'm going to use this one. I think he looks a little too tan in this one. But again, I'll find a use for that. All right. So let's check. I'm going to clap a couple times. See, I'm going to then check it later to see if it's in sync. I'll try that again later. But I'll put this over here. And then this is still a little damp, but not too bad. So one thing I forgot to do on this was to put my registration marks in. So I'm going to take this this cool notch tool. If I can hold on to it. And I'm going to put the notches in. Heck, I might as well cut these guys out. Let me see if I would have had enough with this. My fear is that it wasn't quite enough. So at this end, I guess it cut kind of an angle. But that end is pretty close. I just wonder if there, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, one of the other things I need to mark on this pattern is the stretch. So I want the stretch to go that way because I want it to basically be in line with the mouth. Okay. Let me get Ben Franklin out of the way here. Not that you can see it. Actually, I'm going to move it. I'm going to move him back here. Exciting. Okay, so I want to make sure that the stretch is going the right way. think that stretches. There's a little stretch to both, but I think that's the stretchier of the two. I want to make sure I don't use a salvage edge too. I'm pretty sure my neighbors think I'm crazy. They just hear me talking to myself up here as I build. Not to mention me walking around my complex with various puppets and stuff. Okay. Mark all my. Okay, there's one of them. And this is going to be the real one. I didn't bother to do a test to see if this actually worked. I sure hope that this computer doesn't heat up again, because it's really getting annoying that just as I'm getting started, darn it, just as I'm getting started to do these little videos, that I'm suddenly having technical issues. Sorry, I just need to move that over a little bit because I was getting too close on the bottom here. Not that you can see that. It was right. It was right there. It's about time I bought some new Sharpies. Okay. And I'm not going to cut the whole thing. Oh, that's sharp. I'm not going to cut the whole thing out with a razor blade, but cut this part out. Okay, it's not as sharp as I thought it was. Okay. Oh, I still have to put the boning into the body. But oh well, it'll all get done. Okay, so just a second. So let me show you again how I cut fleece. This is F3 fleece, and if you can see that there's a pile on there. That's kind of what makes fleece so great, is that as you cut it, you can you can hide the stitches with the pile of the fabric. Little fibers. So what you want to do is you want to cut it at an angle so that the fibers have more on the outside the cut than the backing. So you just try and cut it so that the scissors are kind of at a 45-degree angle, and you work your way around. Try and keep it as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just going to help you along down when you hide these seams. So, see, I don't know if you can see that. So this is the opposite side of it, but there's more backing on this than there is fur on the front. And on this piece, which I just cut, there's more fur sticking out. So, or more of the pile. So I try and do that when I cut it, and then that'll help me hide the seams when I sew it. I actually learned that from a lot of builders. So now I'm passing that along to you. Let me see if there's any jerkiness going on. Well, it is lagging, but let me see. Oh, I am behind. That's weird. Okay, well, at least my computer doesn't seem to be overheating, so we'll keep it going. Maybe I'll pull this out a little bit more. Tell you what, I get fibers from this F3 fleece, but it's nothing compared to that gray fur I was just using on that dog. So I might use the darker for the eyelids. I haven't really decided. Okay, I probably could have machine sewed those darts since they're both under the wig, but it's good practice. This might be too late for a lot of people to watch. So, boy, that's really off now. If anybody uses Blackmagic and a 2013 MacBook, I'd love to hear your solutions for this lag that's happening with my video setup. The nice thing is I can start this. I can start showing this on, filming it, and then when I come back on tomorrow, it'll all be done. Okay, so that's all cut out. So I'm going to sew up these darts first. Oh, and I had some black thread all threaded up, whatever might need it for. That's purple. I think I'm going to start a betting channel where people bet on how badly I get colors on my live screen here. Okay. I had no idea this table was so much thicker than the other one. Hey, what the? That was just to stabilize that in place. Okay. So I'm going to line this up in such a way so that, make sure I have the mouth in the right way. I'm digging that styrofoam being in there. Makes it a lot easier to pin into. I kind of want to make sure that all the registration marks are pretty much lined up. I mean, they really should be exactly lined up. And this is on wrong side out. And the reason I'm doing that is because it'll, if I use a whip stitch all the way around, it will have the correct tension for the for these seams when I turn it right side out, because the tension should be the same on both sides. And it gives I think it gives a better, a cleaner seam when you sew it from the back. The ladder stitch is good, but it's tends to be a little bit more time consuming. Okay, so I'm going to do these first two seams. Can we see it from this angle? Nope. Can't see it from any of these angles. Okay, so there's a seam right there. I'm gonna sew that in. Hi, Tills. I may have to cut this short because Tilly might need to go to the bathroom. Hi, Tilly. Let me get this put on there so you can actually see something here. Biggest problem with all these pins being in here is you catch the thread all the time with them. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Okay. I'm trying to go in under the pile. I'm trying to keep nice tight stitches, and again, this is more practice than anything else because nobody's ever going to see these darts because they're all under the hair. That was part of the process of patterning, trying to get the darts off the face. But it's good to work on these skills. I had to repair my couch a number of years ago. And I was saying that I had the only couch with Muppet stitching in the back because I used the ladder stitch to repair the couch. Okay, I need to tie a knot. I'm supposed to do it about every inch, every 9 stitches. I went a little longer than that. The nice thing about fleece is that it's a very forgiving fabric because there's stretch to it. There's, you know, you can mess up a stitch and most of the time you can hide it. Just trying to keep these stitches nice and tight and close together. If you can do stitches that are good here, you know, you can do decent stitches on the front. Okay, so this is getting so close. I don't know if I can. I gotta say, Dharma Trading Company was really good about getting that fleece to me fast. I ordered it on Monday. Got here yet? I think it got here yesterday. It might have been the day before. It might have been Wednesday. It dyes really well. Okay, so I got one dart done. 57 more to go. Okay. Let me see. Oh boy. It's off by about a half a second now. I wonder if I change the... Let's see. I'm going to change the microphone to my other microphone. Okay, so I just changed it to the other microphone. Yeah, that's just as bad. So the biggest trick to doing these videos is to keep my bald spot out of the frame. Yeah, I'm actually a pretty fast builder when it comes down to it. I just, it's hard to get for me to get started sometimes. I think the next project I'm really going to try and do it in 2 days. And I'll take you along for the ride. Imagine after live streaming these things for like 24 hours, how off the sound will be. mean, already this pattern's doing pretty well. The registration mark on these darts even lined up, which I didn't expect them to. So, like when you're doing darts, it's real easy to accident. I haven't done it in a long time, but it can be pretty easy to sew up a mouth or a neck or put a piece on upside down. So just be mindful. Some of the best video I've ever shot. Got 2 darts in. Almost. Okay. I usually do all the darts first and then come back around, and except when I don't. I usually try and do all the darts first and then come back and do the center line. And I've been leaving the bottom seam open and doing that with a ladder stitch because it makes it a little easier to all right, see how off we are now. Okay. Okay, yeah. A good second no. Okay. Probably just need to film these things and then upload them instead of doing them as live streams. It's been easier for me to feel comfortable on a live stream than it has been for me to film uh, film content. Just me doing process videos. I shot a few about how to build arm rods, how to do the neck sleeve, how to all that stuff. But I felt so uncomfortable on camera. I was thinking about down the line rebuilding. Well, a lot of people think I need to finish my Johnny 5, and maybe I will do that next. But I was thinking about maybe building a new C3PO, because I have all the patterns, and I'd really like to document the process. Maybe I'll get my Patreon working again, and then have a raffle. Have a raffle for either the old C3PO or the new C3PO when I'm all done with it. Actually, the robot I think I'm going to build next is that new Fantastic Four movie has Herbie the robot, and I think that would be fun to make that and then bring it to one of the premiere theaters for the lobby. Some of them still let you bring stuff like that. This is really my last commission, so maybe I need to start getting some more of those. Anybody want a Herbie the robot? Oh, it's starting to overheat. Guess it didn't. I think it lasted longer than it used to, but maybe I just need a new computer. I got to figure out how to make rent before I get a new computer, but I think my old MacBook's days are numbered. Alrighty, well, let me see how herky-jerky that thing is looking. Okay, so I'm still behind. Let's see now. Well, still, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like I'm missing frames yet. So I'll keep it going as long as it takes me to finish at least this theme, and then I'll log off. Last time I was doing it, I ran into a problem where I couldn't even log out. It was so lagging so bad that the computer just wouldn't let me log out. So hopefully, I don't know if you noticed when that last one ran, it just didn't end. It just kept going with blank screen. It's because I had to restart my computer. Let's see if that's better. A little bit better. I'll tell you what, once that hair and glasses make his nose and everything, he's going to look a lot more like Benjamin Franklin. Or maybe a cross between Boss Hogg and Emmett Brown. I don't know. Thing about caricature puppets is a lot of times people make them a little too detailed, and I tried to avoid that with this. I tried to make him look more like the cartoons I draw, kind of more simplified but still recognizable. It's a lot of fluff. Okay. Three darts down. Oh, I got a comment. Who's commenting? Corey. Hey, Corey, how's it going? I got to say, I had a pretty easy time dyeing this F3 fleece. I put it in the washer. Well, I dyed it in my sink, and then let me start. I did it in a pot on my sink. I mean, on my stove, and then I rinsed it out in the sink and wrung it out, and then I did the 2 batches, and then I put them in the washer in my laundromat, and ran it with a bunch of towels, and got it all wrung out and cleaned, and then I just basically hung them for an hour, and they were dry. So I would say that was probably the simplest, and also I didn't have as much uneven areas of the dye job this time. So really, once these darts are done, it's just going down the front of the up from the upper lip all the way around to the back of the head, and then I think it'll be ready to glue the mouth in. I wonder if there's a way on this restream to make it whenever I have a comment, it just dings, so that way I know to look up. That didn't even occur to me until you just said it. Oh my gosh, that's great. As Benjamin Franklin always said, I'm shocked. I should just digitize this pattern and put it up for people to buy. I mean, why not? It's such a weird head shape. I think it'd be great for things like if you're gonna do a Boss Hogg or because what person isn't just clamoring to make a Boss Hogg puppet, or a Dom DeLuise or something. I don't know. We need to come up with another Mr. Rogers slam piece. I'm kind of aching to make a couple more Mr. Rogers puppets. At least Daniel and Corny and the platypuses. I can't think of any other ones that I really want to make. Tilly is zonked next to me here. Doing some great video work here. Let's see what I'm doing. All the darts are done. And the sky is gray. Okay. Yeah, the platypus. I want to make the platypuses. Those are great. Okay. This video is mainly to see how far out of sync my vocals get. See, I don't even know. So there's that. Yeah, that's pretty off. It's like a Godzilla movie here. Are you building anything, Corey? Or thinking about building anything? It's okay for my. Oh, that's good to know. I can hear the fan in my computer, which means that it's running hot. I cleaned out all the dust today, and I hope that would take care of it. It does seem to help, but ooh, that'd be cool. We should have a platypus building party. I mean, I at least have a pattern for the base puppet. It'd be a good starting point. I kind of want to use that paper clay that Birdie Miko was using. On the new puppets, because God, that epoxy gets so heavy. Yeah, next time we get together, we need to go out and buy a bunch of art supplies we haven't tried and make some art. I've been really trying to do more art. lately. Almost to the point of thinking about doing melon pool again. Are you making a glove? Are you making glove puppets now? I missed the earlier videos of this build. What do you? I mean, am I making a glove? That's a glove, right? Um, I'm really just making. This is just a handed rod. Um, but you know, I'm always thinking about the next project. It's so funny when I'm working on a project. I'll either become super obsessed with that one project and then just do nothing else, or I'll get bored with the project and start thinking about what I want to build instead of this. Basically, I'm a mess. This is a great angle. Let me change it. Change to that. Oh, there is a hoop at the base. This is just the neck tube. Um, when I do where it's got a separate head and a body, I'll put the hoop in. But if I'm like sewing it up at the bottom, like I do the dogs, I usually don't have a hoop. So I have some with hoops and some without. I suppose they all could have hoops, but I never really know the length of the dog until I've gotten to that point. So I end up just cutting it off anyway. Okay. Getting there. Yeah, usually, I don't know if this will work with Ben Franklin. It didn't work with Miss Piggy, but with that, it'll actually lock into the. What did I do with the body? Oh, here it is. It'll lock into the bottom part of this body, so I don't need to use a pin. That's kind of the idea. I probably could have machine sewn a good chunk of this. But what fun would that have been to watch on YouTube? I kind of feel like that. I'm probably gonna get some flack for this. I kind of feel like watching those videos where they, say, "Oh, I'm gonna build a lightsaber," and then the whole video is printing it out on a 3D printer and then sanding. It's like, oh, okay. Uh-oh. Well, it's starting to look. Doesn't that look like Benjamin Franklin? Well, this is all. It's going to be more of the same of this. This is going to be the most entertaining video ever. See, I hate. Sometimes I get a little knot in here. That drives me crazy. Well, that's a mess. Okay, I'm going to tie that off and just cut it. Okay. I just have what, about 18 inches of sewing left to do, and then I can turn this head. Alrighty, well, I think that might be it for tonight as far as this goes. I'll review this video tomorrow and see how far off my audio is. Is it real noticeable, Corey? Or are you gone? Maybe I'll comb my hair tomorrow. Alrighty. Well, thank you for keeping me company, and I won't turn this before I say that now, but I won't turn this until I'm on camera tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow. If I can find my mouse.